Math is very important in everything.
Math rules.
You can use math every day in real life. Yeah!
Percentages and math are very, very important to the EMS field.
Math rules.
Luke, it looks like you don't quite have proportions and percentages figured out.
Whoa, who are you?
I'm Proportion Penny, the math whiz. I'm here to help you with your math skills.
Cool, I could really use your help. Look at this grade on my math test. It looks pretty bad, but actually, I'm not sure what it is.
It's not that bad.
How do you know?
It's easy enough to figure out what that grade is with a proportion.
It is?
Yeah.
Can you teach me?
Since a percent is always out of 100, here's what the proportion would represent. Now we just fill in our numbers like this.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
Since 25 times 4 equals 100, then we would multiply 21 times 4 also.
That's 84.
Right!
So I got an 84 on my test. That's not too bad.
No, it's not bad, but it could be a lot better. Math is everywhere, so it's important that you know how to do it.
But I only use it in class and on tests.
What? That's not true. You can use math every day in real life. Come on, I'll show you.
What are we doing here?
I'm going to show you that math is useful in all sorts of ways, not just in the classroom. We're here to shop, and Target is having a sale. The principles of percentages apply to items on sale at stores. Take these video games, for example. Normally, it's $50, but today it's 15% off. How much will it cost? Well, first you take 10% of $50.
That's $5.
Great job! Then you take half of 10%, which is the same thing as 5%.
That's $2.50.
That's right. Then you add them together.
That's $7.50.
Great! So 15% of $50 is $7.50. So to find the sales price, subtract the discount from the original.
So my game is going to cost $42.50.
You got it!
Man, all this math is making me hungry.
So let's get something to eat.
I love tacos.
And burritos.
You know what my favorite part of eating at restaurants is, though?
What's that?
Getting to use math to figure out the tip for the waiter.
Yeah.
We make a commission, like it's the tip for the customers. Like sometimes the normal is 15%. When we do our job very well, customers tip us like 20%, 25%. Like for example, something like if I have a table of $50, they tip me sometimes $10 if I do my job right.
So, our bill came to $15.25. Since Alberto is such a great waiter, we're going to give him a 20% tip. It's easiest to find 10% of the total and double it. 10% of $15.25 is rounded to $1.53. So, 20% is $1.53 times 2. This comes out to $3.06 for a tip for Alberto.
Wow, tips are super important to waiters.
They sure are.
Hey, I just remembered. I have a coupon for $10 off a meal here. I wonder how much that will affect the tip I leave.
The customer is smart to know the restaurant give a coupons for, say something, 20% off. That one is not part of the tips. The bill is $50 and they have a 20% off. The bill is $40. It's not right the customer tip on the $40. They need to tip on the $50 because the discount was not in the ways of the waiter.
There's so much math involved here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad our waiter has been so friendly, too.
He sure is. I bet he knows how important it is to be nice to others.
When we make friends with the customers and the customers, they want to give us more money to help us to have money to pay college, and in some cases we pay college, pay our rent, is the way we live. The more friendly and the best service we do, the customers pay us more.
And I definitely bet he knows how important math is in everyday life.
I hope he does. Everyone should.
Math is very important in everything.
Oh man, I've been so into learning all of this math that I forgot. The JMU football game is about to start.
Oh, we don't want to miss that. Vamonos!
While playing football, we use percentages a lot to calculate my passing percentage, whether it's in practice or after a game. Say I threw 20 passes and played 10 of them, that'd be 50%. So that's just an example of a passing percentage rating. We do this in practice every day. Every single throw I have is calculated into those percentages, and that helps me develop as a passer and get better. Also, after every game, we're graded on pluses and minuses. So say there's 100 plays in the game and I had 90 pluses. I guess you could say I was 90% for the day, which is a good grade. Again, you just use those percentages to get better and learn from your mistakes. Your passing percentage is how many passes you've thrown based on how many you've completed. Again, let's say I threw 100 passes this season and completed 70 of them. I'd be completing 70% of my passes. As a quarterback in college, I would say 60% is kind of where you measure and kind of where you want to be at. Right now I'm at 50-something, so hopefully I can improve the next few weeks. But there's a lot that goes into passing percentage because the quarterback's obviously got to drop back, make the right read, make the right throw. The offensive line is obviously got to give you time to make the throw, and the receivers obviously got to run the right route and catch the ball. So there's a lot that goes into passing percentage, and I'm just looking to improve on that for the rest of the year. In a game, I typically like to start off throwing short and intermediate routes. That way I can get some completions under my belt and get confidence going into the rest of the game. I feel like when you complete shorter passes, it makes the defense come up and honor it, which can allow you to go over the top and throw deeper routes as the game progresses. Every quarterback's different. I like to start short and then try to beat them deep. I've had success doing that so far, and hopefully in the future as well. I think, especially in the future when I have a job and I'm out in the real world, I'll definitely use math every day. Definitely plan on improving my math skills for my future, and I look to build off that.
Wow, what an exciting game.
Yeah.
But how do we know how Drew did? He completed 14 of his 20 passes, so what was his completion percentage?
First, we would need to make a proportion. Since a percent is always out of 100, here's what the proportion would represent. Now we just fill in our numbers like this. Since 20 times 5 equals 100, then we would multiply 14 times 5. Can you do that math?
It's 70%.
Great job! You will get better and better at math the more you practice it.
It's all thanks to you, Penny. Whoa, what happened?
I thought we could use a pastry. So we're at Joshua Wilton House.
How did you get us back in the kitchen?
Oh, I've got connections.
Cool.
The restaurant business is a great place to learn about how math is used outside of the classroom.
Being a baker, we use percentages when we need to change the size of the recipe. So if we have a recipe that makes 5 dozen cookies, but we need the recipe to yield 3 dozen cookies, then we just create that fraction 3/5 between the two. So using the right size recipe makes it more efficient. I don't have to go back and do it over again because the recipe was the wrong size.
This is one of my favorite recipes. I want to bake cookies for Luke's class, which has 30 students. This recipe only serves 10. I'm trying to figure out how many eggs I should buy. If 2 eggs serve 10 people, how many eggs do I need to serve 30 people? First, we write out our proportion. Then we fill in our numbers like this. Since 10 times 3 equals 30, we can multiply 2 by 3 also. I'm going to need 6 eggs to make cookies for Luke's entire class.
I never thought about that.
Just wait, there's more.
Also, we use percentages to control the food. I'm not making too much, which would create waste. And every month, we tally up all the costs and compare them to the sales. And so each of the costs needs to be within a certain percent of the sales, just to keep everything on track.
I never thought about that either.
And there's even more.
The cost, whether it's purchasing the food or the labor or the overhead, the recipes, and the usage at holidays. I can pull up last year's holidays and look at the numbers. I use math a lot.
Man, math seems more useful every time we go somewhere new.
That's the idea. Now let's get a pastry.
Penny, I've noticed that all the places we've been going have been stores and restaurants. Is there anywhere math is used that's a little more exciting?
I think math is exciting all the time. But I see your point. Boys like trucks, right?
Yeah.
I know just the place.
Oh, cool. We're at the rescue squad.
I thought you'd like this. But wait, the EMTs here use math too.
Today we're going to discuss how we use percentages in the field of EMS. The biggest way we use percentages is with burn charts. Patient with a burn, our palm will cover 1% of the body. As we keep going up, it'll go on. Each person has a rule of 9. 9% of their body covers each extremity and the chest. The chest will cover 18% of your body. Each face of the arm, the front, and the back totals 9%, as well as the legs, the groin, the neck, and the head. And the body overall is 100%. If a patient has over 30% of their body burned, we will fly them out to UVA with a helicopter.
Wow, I never realized math could help save lives.
Right? It's so helpful and useful.
Penny, you're amazing. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Luke, I think you're pretty cool too. How do you feel about your math skills now?
I feel much better. We have another math test soon, and I feel a lot more prepared. Wow, I got a 24 out of 25. That's a 96.
Luke, I'm so proud of you. You got an A on your test, and you did that math all in your head.
Hey, you're right. I did. I guess I got so used to doing math in my head every day that I do it automatically now.
See how important and basic math is?
I do now. Thanks, Penny.
Anytime. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. And remember, math rules!